No, I can't. I have to start my stream when the season comes out because that's where all the viewership is. There's no like there's stupidest shit for me to start my stream like way later. All right.
This video is made possible by the EA Creator Network. We're going to jump right into it, and we got a lot to cover. I promise I'm going to go as slow, but also as efficient as possible. On the right, we're going to cover all the skill trees, cover over their abilities. We're going to hop in the range here. We're going to showcase the ones that are most important, that are most viable, that we can showcase, that are important to showcase, and we're going to jump into it. We're going to go Assault, Skirmisher, Recon, Support, and Controller. We're going to timestamp every single legend. We're going to give every single legend their time and love best we can. And now let's jump into it. Let's start with Bangalore. Well, if you are curious about how the Levolution works, I'm going to cover that in a different video.
And
in this video specifically, we're going to cover the skill tree. Again, I apologize to my
VMA,
voice,
it's 11.
off. A little sore yesterday, so if it sounds weird, trust me, I'm really excited. I'm just trying to keep my tone down so I don't hurt myself. Now, let's take a look here. This is Big Bang. Now, this one's pretty easy. You can see grenades through...
Johnny for 41, Stripe is 11.
We don't have to talk about that. Now, this one is pretty big. Reduce ultimate cooldown by 25%. That's pretty huge. We don't have to talk about that. Now, this one is pretty big. Reduce ultimate cooldown by 25%. That's pretty huge. Now, Cover Me. This is one where it gets a little tricky.
That's from Blue Armor.
You can either choose to auto-ping enemies who trigger double time, or... you can choose to regenerate HP while inside smoke.
Yeah, the other one's clearly way better.
Let's take a look at these. What we're going to do is we're actually going to level this up in the range whenever you actually go live with this. You can actually...
Guys, I'm not going to... You guys really deaf? You can't even hear like what he's saying? He's literally saying what the perks are. You don't have to see it.
You level up.
So he basically said 25% reduced cooldown on ultimate if he hits blue armor. If he hits purple armor, there's another one where it's basically... you heal and smoke. And the other one is... other one is fucking useless. Basically, the two good ones are reduce cooldown on ultimate, and then heal and smoke for purple armor.
Your armor. And if you're curious, you see the Evo here, and that's covered in a different video. And we're going to cover these abilities. So we got the cooldown here, and this one's going to be harder to showcase auto-ping enemies who trigger double time, so we're going to showcase the HP while in smoke, because that one makes a little bit more sense. Just to showcase. The other one, auto pings, I don't have an example of that right now. Excuse me. And so we remember, it takes a second for it to hit, and there you go. I want to say it's around 35 to about 40 HP once everything is said and done. It does take a moment to hit.
That's pretty weak.
And once the smoke dissipates, then you no longer get the heal. The smoke is kind of here a little bit still, but the healing does stop. So that's important to really highlight. So that's everything when it comes to Bangalore. I recommend if you are a more passive Bangalore trying to provide cover, let's say you're playing with a Horizon, then Refuge is going to be more beneficial because you regenerate HP while inside smoke. If you're going to be entry fragger Bangalore, pushing and shoving, then auto-ping an enemy who trigger double time so you can focus who that target is, especially if you're inside smoke, is definitely going to be beneficial. Now,
I think it's just Bangalore, not...
Ul Fusey. These are a little more self-explanatory. Fuse definitely benefits from grenades, so if you don't have a lot of grenades, that makes sense to grab. You can see that through walls. We've seen that already in Apex, so I'm not going to cover that. Take 50% less damage and avoid slow effects from ult. This is really huge, especially if you're in aggro.
Wait, what?
Easy. Now, you've seen that already in Apex, so I'm not going to cover that.
50% less damage and avoid slow effects from ult. So wait, he could just... basically, he's able to run in and out of the fucking ultimate completely.
Take 50% less damage and avoid slow effects from ult. This is really huge, especially if you're in aggro.
Short...
Easy.
25% less explosive damage. It's kind of useless.
Now you can take 25% less explosive damage.
Next thing's 41 months.
Self-explanatory, so we're going to show...
short speed boost on a successful knuckle cluster hit. Okay, that's pretty good, I feel like. That's way better than another one.
Showcase the speed boost with the knuckle cluster. Now, if you miss it, it doesn't do any damage. But if it ticks anywhere... look at that speed boost. Now you can play entry frag Fuse. Even if you stick them. Remember, all you're looking for is one tick. You hit one tick, and then boom, you're all set. And you gain that speed boost. So it's like a permanent double time, especially. Let's take a look at the ult. If you get hit, remember it slows you before. You just barrel right through. Now, you do take a lot of damage. I mean, the ult for Fuse is pretty massive, but if you're trying to push somebody in, or you're trapping somebody out of it, this is a great way to mitigate that. So this is Fuse, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's move on. Let's take a look at Ashe. Now, the interesting part with Ashe is that you call out the number...
call out the number of squads within... okay, that's kind of
squads within 150 meters after squad wipe. Fortunately, this one's harder to showcase in the range, and somebody else does have...
using marked for depth tracks enemy position on map. For 60 seconds. Okay, that's also just kind of useless now. Yeah, this is kind of useless.
Have this one. Mark for death, tracks...
My food's here, chat. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. So far, Ash is useless. Bangalore's perks are pretty underwhelming. Fuse seems broken. Fuse seems broken so far.
Enemy position on map for 60 seconds. I can't really showcase because, you know, we're in the test
Imperial's
range, but now you
months.
kind of understand. This one's tricky. This one is pretty big if you're trying to avoid a third party, or if you're looking to fight. And this one, if you're trying to find opponents, maybe you're playing Edge. So you gotta have to decide.
Thanks for the 34 months, bro.
Probably would go for the number of squads you win 150 meters after a squad wipe. I think that keeps your momentum, especially if you're playing aggressive Ash. But I guess if you're trying to play more passive, trying to find what fights are occurring and you're playing Edge of Zone, maybe this. I would probably go for a Murder Machine. This one's a little trickier though. Lasting Snare. Arc Snare remains in play for 24 seconds to catch multiple enemies.
Remains in play for... Okay. You know, that Q is going to be... It's not going to be that crazy, I feel like, in 3v3s. But in the endgame, that's just going to be OP. In the endgame, an Arc Snare that you literally cannot even break, that sits on the ground for 24 seconds. And I'm pretty sure when you get Arc Snare, you also get, like, target, like, highlighted or something. I'm pretty sure. So, like, that's kind of insane for late game.
That one is pretty interesting. I tried this one, gain an Arc Snare charge, excuse me. But the downside about this is that whenever I popped it, it was bugged in the test range and wasn't working. So I'm going to go with this one. This one will give you an extra Arc Snare charge. And you'll see that with other legends that it gives you an extra charge. Unfortunately, it just wasn't working for me. This is a specific build and bugs do happen. Now, this will last for 24 seconds, which is insane. Now, what happens when you do the other one, it'll stack up. Now, when you click on them, it doesn't give it to you right away. Maybe other legends will, but what I've noticed on this, it doesn't give you the arc right away. So let's reset that. I'm going to showcase it. This lasts for an extremely long time. You don't have to sit here.
Wait, why not, Raven? What do you mean?
Here, just take my word for it that it just lasts forever. Let me show you the Arc Snare. Hit this, hit this. See how I have to wait for it still? I didn't get it back right away, even though I clicked on it. I didn't just instantly, boom, get the Arc Snare. So you have to wait for them. Even when I waited for them, I'm not going to waste your time here. Just trust me, in launch, it's going to work properly here. I'm in a test build. Please understand that. It didn't stack. So let's move on to Margaret. Now, this one's kind of cut off here. You gain a Riot Drill charge, reduce active duration by... I assume this is a certain specific time. I can't see it. So you gain a charge. You see how the charge is the same? This is very consistent. Just because you gain it doesn't mean you're going to gain the charge right away. While that charges in the background, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the next a bit. And I'm going to show you that the other one is depth, increases by 1.5. A little bit of a change there. You auto reload shotguns on knocks, pretty huge. And this is the one I'm going to showcase because this one is more of a visual one. The Wrecking Ball catches fire, and on detonation, it blows up with thermites. Oh, this one works, so we got two. Now keep in mind the duration's not long, but that pressure... not gonna lie, it's kind of nice. The drill already lasts a really long time, so that one looks... I would honestly probably choose this.
Bro, Maggie Fuse is gonna go fucking crazy. Bro, imagine Maggie Fuse on World's Edge. It's actually gonna be impossible for anyone to be playing a truck or any type of small space. Like, you will literally just die every single time. It's literally impossible. Banning 28 months. Like, you literally can't play any truck in World's Edge. Because imagine, not only that, if Maggie is played by multiple teams, or Fuse, anybody that's in the truck is literally going to get Maggie queued by like 6 fucking drills, and just die. Just imagine that.
But pressure, because people run out of it really quick. I would definitely probably choose that one. Now let's showcase the Wrecking Ball, shall we? I would probably go with the Wrecking Ball more so. See, once it pops, it takes a second. Once it like builds up, and then there's gonna be like a couple thermites. There it goes. Woo! Look at that. It's just like a cross right there. Now, sometimes it doesn't go in an exact cross. If it's on a wall, sometimes it kind of like gets stuck with 2 of them in a corner. But really great. This is if you're aggro Mad Maggie, and this one's still nice too. Keep in mind. But if you don't run a shotgun all the time, or you don't have a choice of a shotgun, And a Wrecking Ball with Thermites is absolutely insane. I get the feeling most people are going to run that, so I'm just going to run with that overall. Up next, this one's interesting. Can reveal care packages. This is essentially getting the skill set of a skirmisher and knowing what's in the care package. So we can't showcase that one. You can see ammo and death boxes. So you can see what's there from a distance. Unfortunately, you can't test this one in the test range. You're going to have to take my word for it how it works. But you can see that. Other legends have this ability, and we're going to kind of gloss over it. But it's not necessarily glossing over, just that you have an understanding of it.
Good one, Reeds. I was waiting for someone to say that. Good one, bro. Zen, 15. You might have to run through your own thermite to push them. Yeah. It's probably worth it anyways, Raven, at that point, though. Like, they're stunned. You're just getting, like, it's like free kills, right? Shady, so many months. I haven't seen a perk list or perk set where it's, like, debatable what's better, you know? It's, like, pretty obvious which one's better.
Up next, you can gain a Smart Bullet charge, or the Smart Bullet duration in World is tripled. Now, when it means World, it means whenever it exists like this. Let me show you. It has to exist in the world like this. It can work like a bit of an AoE, kind of like an arc snare if you're trying to bait somebody over. It'll last a triple amount of the time, okay? That's important to really highlight. Now, if it attaches to somebody, it doesn't last triple. Oh, no, we're talking about world. We're talking about it sitting there, right? Now, let's take a look at this again. And remember, same consistent thing here. Even though you click on it right away and you do upgrade it, you're not going to get that charge right away. You have to look at the bottom left, and you'll see that it's charging. So once it does, you're going to get 2 of these. Now, what you could do is fire it off a little sooner, and the next one will still come shortly after. See how the timer is not necessarily fully reset? You still have it there, so at least you kind of get the little bit of time. It's not too crazy, but hey, I mean, 2 charges. I would go for the 2 charges.
Ballistic is still useless.
Overlasting this in the world, unless you're playing more of a defensive ballistic. But having 2 of these is actually crazy. I would definitely opt for the 2. As we keep doing this, I'm going to give you my suggestions best I can, and we'll keep talking through it. This one's interesting. At the first one, we can't...
I'm surprised they didn't, like... See, this was, like, another perfect position where they could have buffed characters that are, like, just dog shit. Like, they could have buffed, like, Ballistic or buffed, like, a Mirage and stuff like that. Like, these dog shit characters just with these perks. And they still, like, somehow... to like level, you know, it's kind of the same way how they did with the class system, like how they try to emerge new characters into the game by creating a class system by giving them like a really OP class, like hitting the beacon or whatever it might be. They could have done the same thing with perks, but they just didn't do it. Like they should give more OP perks for the characters that are like bad, like in general.
Can't showcase this in the range. I'm gonna stop saying that just so you guys understand, but you have the survey beacon, or you have a ring console. This
playing zone with Pathfinder though is kind of like useless though, isn't it? Like, what did you actually gain from playing Pathfinder in zone? Like, you just get nothing really. Like, do you really gain anything out of that? Yeah, you also need blue armor. That's true. You're right.
This adds a lot of versatility to Pathfinder. Bringing either, are you going to play a Pathfinder that is going to scan beacons, or are you going to have one that rotates to zone? And you could choose here. If you decide to go for beacons, it might be better to get a grapple cooldown on reset. Because, I mean, once you get a knock, boom, you start pushing more. Or if you're going to go to zone, go for the zipline. Because it's energized for a short time, granting 25% reduction in damage while riding. And we're going to showcase that. So let's say we're going to play defensive. And we go for the zipline. If you pop the zipline before you click this, you will not gain its damage reduction. Now, whenever you notice it is damage reduction on the zipline will appear as a blue hue. You ride it and you take 25% less damage while riding on this. Pretty cool. I think that's really, really neat. So, as a suggestion, if you're playing more aggro, get survey beacons to know where opponents are at, and grapple cooldown reset on knock. Especially, you get a knock and you got to reposition right away. You're playing zone, you got to help those rotations, then zipline zen, and these two kind of go together. I know that most of the time it feels like it's supposed to be left and right, but sometimes it's not always the case. So let's go ahead and break down Wraith really quick. Wraith is a pretty straightforward, and we're going to highlight these though. The tactical cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds, or you could choose between passive triggers when nearby squad count increases. I'm going to go most of the time with the cooldown. I think most people would. If your squad is struggling with third parties, I guess you could go with this one. I don't know. This one is very circumstantial depending on how you play. If you're playing very aggro, pushing everything, you got to avoid third parties. This is your best bet. Now the next one, reduce ultimate cooldown by 20%, or reduce wind up by 20%. Most of the time, Wraiths, I'm going to be very honest, unless you're playing a competitive and you need your cooldown up all the time, you're most of the time going to go for this. This kind of reverts back with a nice faster speed.
Wait, that's way better.
Let's go and revert that,
That is way better.
So you can take a look at a little bit of a before and after back there. I think this one's a little bit more important.
Augustine, thanks for 21 months. Cassius, a prime.
And then we'll add up the abilities again. Ready?
That is way better, but at the same time, like, I'm just wondering how hard is it actually to get the purple armor? I feel like it is not going to be, but that queue is way better now. Especially considering how, like, the guns are fucking nerfed to hell. Way harder to insta-kill a Wraith. Wenzo's 11 months. Alan, it's 11 months. Port cooldown is better. Well, I guess we're not playing Wraith.
Going to charge that back so you saw the before. Pull it back because we have our tactical. Faster. Noticeably faster. Very nice. If you were that Wraith that pushes and wants your old tactical back, you're watching this video and let's insert whatever you want to insert right there. I guarantee you're very happy. I assume most Wraiths are going to be very happy with the revert back here. This is nice. I mean, kudos to most Wraiths for that. Up next is Octane. Octane takes 25% less damage from stims, or you can take 25% less damage from explosives.
That's just going to be insane.
It depends how you use grenades, but most of the time you're going to take the less damage from stims, especially when you're using it a bunch. It is pretty.
We need 25% less damage on explosive on Jordan, like at all times. That man is always just dying to grenades. I don't know how.
You see from the bottom left. Comparatively, I'm going to just heal up and just showcase that real quick. With the normal stim, look at that. Big difference. Of course, after the
Right.
This one's a little interesting on the bottom left. Comparatively, I'm going to just heal up and just showcase that real quick. With the normal stim, look at that. Big difference.
Yeah.
Of course, after the fact when you stim. This one's a little interesting though. You can gain an extra launch pad charge, or you can change directions with the launch pad double jump. Now, the charge takes a second still. Now, what we're going to do is use a charge station over here just to get the second charge in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And boom. Let's take a look. You throw one. Let's say you're going to fly. You'll do a little tap strafe, throw it down again.
So double jump pad is
Even if you miss it, don't miss like me. There you go.
Do you guys remember the double jump pad at the Harvester rotate? I don't know if we won that game, but you guys remember that? Now it's just 26 months.
Now, let's take a look at the other one, because the other one's a little interesting. I know I'm on mouse and keyboard, so I'm going to say that for everybody watching. This one's a little confusing, and it could be definitely utilized more for a tap strafe, because you can change directions with the launch pad double jump. Now, technically, you could do that if you can tap strafe. If you're on controller, this technically gives you what you're looking for. I'm going to give you an example. So I'm not going to tap strafe. I'm going to put down the jump pad, right? Oh, that's interesting. It looks different. And then you look. See how it goes that way? And you can still kind of tap strafe afterwards, but the jump pad is noticeably different. So for your controller friends who can't tap strafe and you want to go that direction, look at that. That's really cool, actually. Now you can add a bit of a tap strafe in there. You see how oh, there we go. Now we're getting a little spicy with the movement. Look at that. So there is a little bit of benefit even if, look at that, and you kind of gain that momentum still. And you can, if you were, and it's going to take a little practice, I can guarantee you, anybody, Moki, if you're watching this, will probably make a guide and video on this, explaining how we can abuse this movement tech. Guarantee. So, Moki, I'm looking at you. Hey, what's going on, guys? Everybody? I'm just kidding. I can't impersonate you. That's the best I got. All right. Well, that's really cool. If you're a controller, congrats. You now have a nice little directional pad movement there, and I like how the color's a little different. Pretty cool. Now, let's take a look at Revenant. Revenant's a little more straightforward. You can reduce the tactical cooldown by 5 seconds, or you can call it the number of squads within 150 meters after squad wipe. This is important because if you are playing with Ashe, then Ashe can choose the right one, and then Revenant can choose, I guess depending what you want to utilize, but you see how there's a little bit of crossover here? Overlap, communicate with your squad mates, don't use the same thing, because then you don't want to run into that problem. Now, the total, we're going to get this one for now. Just let's assume that Ashe gets this one. Total Shadow Pounce charge time reduced by 20%. That's full send, aggro. Attack refresh on knock. Go ahead and do full send. A little more straightforward. It's all about his tactical. And look at that. You got a reduction in time. That's nice. That's not bad at all. It's like I said, it's a lot more straightforward. Revenant is not necessarily the most exciting, but his kit is newer. His ultimate isn't buffed in any way. It's all mostly about the tactical, really, and pushing. I mean, this one's great. I would actually probably go for the tactical refresh. If you get a lot of knocks, go for Kill Thrill. If you are somebody who waits patiently for the right fight, then I would go for the one on the left, just for deciding factors. Horizon's not the most exciting either, but still pretty cool. You can see grenades through walls.
I don't know, the Revenant one is just like stupidly like cooldown, like stupid cooldowns, but nothing really crazy.
This is important, especially for
Nico is 35 months.
ultimate. You don't have a hard time finding them. You can see ammo and death
Dog
boxes.
shit.
I'm gonna be honest, Big Bang.
Dog
Probably what I'm
shit.
gonna go with.
Dog shit.
Now you can reduce your cooldown by 5
Tactical
seconds,
cooldown,
or the ultimate
dog
cooldown
shit.
by
Horizon's dead. It's over. It's fucking over.
14%.
It's fucking over.
This one's a little tough. It depends on what you use. I mean, the tactical
use-
cooldown by 5 seconds? Listen, that's already pretty huge, especially if you keep going in and out, and the timing of this will pop a lot faster compared to, I guess it depends if you use the ult a lot more. But that timing of getting back your tactical so you can push again and have it, I'm probably going to go with the tactical more than likely than the ultimate. Because the ultimate, you usually use it once in a fight, and then it's not like you're going to have it up for the next fight, and if you're getting third party, you're not going to have it up fight again, and you can circumvent this by using accelerant. So just have a Wattson in your squad or something. Even though I know Wattson's not as meta. So up next is Valkyrie.
Right.
Let's take a look at hers, as they're the
I heard
most
this one's
interesting that
broken.
I've seen so far. She has quite a bit to choose from here. You can launch 50% higher with Skyward
higher,
Dive, which we're going to
okay.
select and showcase, and you can increase horizontal jetpack speed and acceleration. Now, let's go to showcase the ultimate. This is where it's a little bit higher. A bit higher than the balloons that you can see there.
Looks like you can go over mountains.
Now we're going to do is we're going to land, and we're going to showcase
that's
now
enough.
the jetpack. Going to switch back and forth. Now the jetpack. Let's take a look at the before. You have a little bit of mobility, but it's nothing too crazy, right? Now if you select increase horizontal jetpack speed and acceleration, look at that. That is already immediately noticeable, and if you're trying to get away, really, really strong. Now the other interesting thing is you can
that
increase
one's way
jet
better.
fuel by 25%. This is actually really good, especially if you're in a fight trying to gain that mobility, move around, and do a lot more. These two pair very, very well together. Look at that. It's really nice. Now, let's go and reset this. This is also an interesting change when it comes to the tactical. I'm going to have to switch this twice. We know that it goes by this pattern, right? You can choose to modify the missile swarm from a 4x3 to a 3x5. That's fascinating and interesting. So why it's fascinating
It just goes further.
is that this can kind of be modified to hit more of a... You see how we can hit more of those boxes right there now? Maybe not necessarily trying to hit perfectly forward, but trying to occupy more space. If you're trying to hit them, if they're here to here, and guarantee you're going to hit them instead of having some of the missiles hit in the back. It's an interesting change.
Right,
It's
it's
something to
17
think about, depending on how you find your opponents are always getting caught out and stuck. It's just something to think about. Hello, this is Das from the future. Another thing to highlight is also the height of which your tactical can go, because she's got more jet fuel. Here's the before. Just want to see the before. So she goes up. It's not as high. That's just gameplay recorded after when I was like, wait a minute, I forgot to record this. And here's the after. With the increase in jet fuel again, it makes quite a difference overall, because we're about to reach that height, and it's just insane. I'm going to just let it roll.
Jesus Christ. That was pretty insane.
Now, let's go on to the Recon class.
I don't know how I feel about that, though. It's just like... When would you ever even need that much jetpack fuel? That's the thing. Like, what scenarios would you ever have to do that? Like, I just can't think of it. Like, endgame, yeah, but that's like... Endgame is like 5% of the game. What about the rest of the game? Like, when am I ever gonna fucking fly up in the air, like, that high? It's kind of like... I don't know. Scouting? Yeah, but you can get shot. You can easily get shot. Scout, like you doing that, trying to scout. If we think about let's think about the skirmisher. So Pathfinder's one was just dog shit. Wraith is not bad. So Horizon's like just fucking useless now. Like I wonder if we're gonna play like Valk. Like people just play Valk or if Wraith maybe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Yeah, I feel like most of the skirmishers kind of suck, but I feel like Valk is the most useful, maybe... Yeah, definitely Valk is the most useful out of all of them right now, I think. Like, as like a comp character. I've not seen the tier changes yet, no. Bang perks are kind of trash. Fuse and Maggie are OP. Ash is trash. Ballistic is trash. Horizon is trash.
Fascinating is that this can. Now let's go on to the recon class. Let's start with Bloodhound. They have a 5% reduction in cooldown, tactical, and the White Raven gives 25% ult charge when activated. I'm gonna go with a tactical cooldown, to be honest. I know the ultimate is definitely beneficial, but you usually when you go into a fight, having 5 seconds off of this is, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty massive, especially in a fight. 5 seconds is a lot of time. The Taste of Blood is another one here. You gain 25 HP on knocks while Beast of the Hunt is active. Not necessarily as useful. This is assuming you are flush. Double attack body scan duration. These I'm gonna be honest. This is it. Double that time. Huge.
Yeah, that's way better.
Huge. That's what I would go with. I'm gonna be very honest with you. These two. If I was Bloodhound, you can opt to go this way and kind of keep your momentum the other way. But still, I don't know. This just has way better synergy, and everybody always...
Scan meta's back, baby! Let's go! The double attack full body scan is fucking useless. Raven, why do you always rain on my parade, bro? We were just on Wraith and now Bloodhound. They're outlined by diamonds that same duration. I guess. I thought this like...
I'm gonna be very honest with you. These two.
Double attack full body scan duration. But I'm confused. That means like it doubles the duration of the scan and it's full body. Like it's not more. I think it's the duration that's important, not fucking that it's scanned by a full body, right? Because the Q is right. Or am I stupid? There's two different scan durations. One for full body and one for diamond.
If I was Bloodhound, you can opt to go this way and kind of keep your momentum the other way. But still, I don't know. This just has way better synergy, and everybody always wants a scan, and having it last longer. I mean, wall hacks, that's crazy. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen.
I still don't understand. I thought
Beast of the Hunt is active. Not necessarily as useful. This is assuming you are flush. Double attack body scan duration. These two, I'm gonna be honest. This is when you go into a fight, having 5%, activated. I'm gonna go with a tactical cooldown. To be honest, I know the ultimate is definitely beneficial, but you usually when you go into a fight,
diamond.
I'm gonna be honest. This is it. Double that time. Huge. That's what I would go with. I'm gonna be very honest.
Yeah, but double. That's still good though. Look at the diamond.
Activated. I'm gonna go with a tactical cooldown. To be honest, I know the ultimate is definitely beneficial, but you usually when you go into a fight, huge. Attack body scan duration. These two, I'm gonna be honest. This is it. Double that time. Huge. That's what I would go with. I'm gonna be very honest with you.
I don't get it. You still see diamond without full body. Yeah, but it's not about the diamond. Like it doesn't matter. The diamond. It's not about the diamond though. It's about how long the people are scanned. Why does the diamond even matter? Like, you can clearly see there's a difference in how long they're scanned for, right? Compared to fucking the first scan. They're not scanned for longer, is my point. How? It looks longer.
And the White Raven gives 25% ult charge when activated. I'm going to go with a tactical cooldown, to be honest. I know the ultimate is definitely beneficial, but you usually when you go into a fight, having 5%...
Okay, so you're saying because the diamond stays on after the scan goes away on the prior scan... It still matches the same duration as the second one. That's what you're saying. Exact same duration? Well, that's probably a bug then. That's gotta be a bug. Daz needs to tier 1, man. That's gotta be a bug. Because there was a bug earlier with other perks. That has to be a bug. That's because the full body and diamond are different scans. Okay. Then I don't know. The wording doesn't make any sense then. Because it says like double whatever it was called.
Not necessarily as useful. This is assuming you are flush.
Double tack full body scan duration. Like that's gotta be... Either the wording is just wrong or it's just a fucking bug because that doesn't make any sense. There was a bug with Vantage's keep in mind test build. I assume the scan lasts longer. Well, I guess so, no, the full... Okay, yeah, wait, no, I'm just... Yeah. The full body duration is double. Yeah, okay, that I understand now. I understand. Okay, the wording does make sense. the full body part is what is a double, not the diamond, not the skin itself, just the full body. Yeah, I don't know if they like, did they just fuck up with that one or what?
Double attack body scan duration. These two, I'm gonna be honest, this is it.
Yeah, but that's just so confusing. Like, it's kind of confusing though. Like, why is there like 2 different scans on one? Like, it's kind of confusing.
Double that time, huge, huge. That's what I would go with. I'm gonna be very honest with you. These two, over and over again. So we're gonna do crypto. Let's take a look at the tactical cooldown by 10 seconds. This is helpful if your drone gets destroyed over and over and over again. You can reduce the
Jesus Christ.
ultimate cooldown by 20 seconds.
Great, it's 24 months.
And this is tough. You got to choose either between if your drone gets destroyed all the time, or you just want to time it right and have the reduction in your cooldown. Probably this is what you're gonna go with. Now this next one is also pretty clear as day.
Deploying the drone calls out squads in the area. Wait. Oh, that's kind of broken. How big is that?
Deploying the drone calls out squad in the area, or
Mirage Prime.
EMP range by 50%. Pretty huge. We're gonna put the drone right here, and we're gonna back up to this
Drama
spot.
17 months.
I haven't selected it, or I have actually. We're gonna showcase what it looks like the before and after. So we're gonna do swap back and forth. Right now I'm gonna showcase before.
Back in, Mr. Prime.
We're gonna put it right there. Go, do a drone, go, go, go. And we're gonna stand right here so you can see that distance. We're gonna pop our ult so you can see it.
Crazy into tier 1.
Okay, this is before. Now
How did
let's
that just hit
do
him?
the after. We gotta remember to click on it. If you don't click on it, then you don't get the upgrade. Let's back up and
Sunshine,
reposition. We're gonna
months.
pop our ult again here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Woo! Look at that. Massive difference. That was huge. I noticed earlier that I got hit by something. I don't know if I went crazy if I walked into it, but you see that difference is pretty night and day. You're gonna have to go with this one. I mean, your ultimate just buffing
Chronic,
it is huge.
19 months.
You could go with the drone if it gets destroyed.
BK,
it is an
Brian.
option, but I feel like this is a little bit more cut and dry on what you should choose. Now you can increase your Heartseeker and upgrade. I don't know if I went crazy. Now let's do the after.
I guess you can't.
Woo! Look at that. Massive difference. That was huge. I noticed earlier that I got hit by something. I don't know if I went crazy if I walked into it, but you see that difference is pretty night and day. You're gonna have to go with this one. I mean, your ultimate just buffing it is
I'm just curious on what the map room one looks like. Like, if you pull out the drone, like how does that work? Because if I can fucking map room scan, like depending on how far, every time I pull my drone, that's kind of insane. Mel, it's the 9th month.
huge. You could go with the drone if it gets destroyed. It is an option, but I feel like this is a little bit more cut and dry on what you should choose.
It's not map room. It's basically the same as pinging the banners to tell your squads in the area. Pinging your banners. Good one. It's 27 months.
Now you can increase your Heartseeker and tactical
Oh, there are X squads nearby? Okay,
range
so
by
it's
25
useless.
meters. It's pretty huge.
Wait,
You can
wait,
remove
wait,
the
hold up.
Heartseeker movement. Brian, what you should choose.
Increase Heartseeker and tactical range by 25 meters. Okay.
Now you can increase your Heartseeker and tactical
Fantasy,
range by
5 months.
25 meters. It's pretty huge. You can remove the Heartseeker movement penalty. This one's a little tough. I would probably hit the range more so. I think this is more impactful, to be honest,
Yeah.
than the movement penalty. Now it's just me. You can increase your tactical scan duration by 1.5 seconds or increase the throw. So having this is pretty huge whenever it lasts for that much longer. Or if you want and you're having issues throwing your ultimate, you could choose that one. I think I would probably go with the left side
Kind of
personally.
useless.
I know, trust me. Trust me.
Serious still dog shit.
This one's very interesting
what
for
I was doing.
Vantage. Vantage has the option to hit ring consoles. This brings a lot of versatility to be able to
Ring console?
scan
Okay.
legends and also scan to go to zone. Pretty huge. Or let's say you're already playing with a Caustic, Wattson, Rampart, or Catalyst, right? If you're already playing with those, then you don't have to go do that. Just gain the accelerant for 4 bullets free.
Wait, what? Ultimate Extend is great. 4 bullets.
For
Okay.
4 bullets free. Only if you have somebody who's already hitting the ring console. This one's a little interesting. Refresh echo relocation on hits with sniper mark. This could be good if you already repositioned, then sniped him, and then trying to reposition again. It'd be really good to keeping you on the move. This one,
Improved echo relocation double jump. The thing is that This character is like almost, I feel like, absolutely useless in zone. And plus, how do you? Is there even a world where Pathfinder or Vantage gets to blue armor that doesn't slow you down to hit the beacon? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can't hit the beacon off spawn unless you get a blue, or like however you get a blue in the game. So it's like by the time you get a blue and you can hit the beacon, then like you're already late to zone. So it's like, what's the point of being able to hit the fucking beacon on Pathfinder or Vantage? Like, it's just kind of useless. And plus, like the only upside to using Vantage in zone is ammo consumption. But you just use a sniper the entire game. But it's like, doesn't really do much, right? Sad dog, he said 10 months.
Improve echolocation double jump. What we're gonna do to showcase the distance now with the tactical is we're gonna undo what we're gonna do before. So you can see it, and we're gonna stand right here, and we're gonna throw the tactical out and double jump. There you go, forward. This is about as far as we'll go. Now let's now attach. Swap back and forth so we can get the refresh on the tactical. And then we're gonna showcase the ability. Let's go and grab this and the relocation double jump. It says improved. I don't know what that means, but maybe it doesn't mean distance. And we're going to test that out now. Maybe it just means movement. It doesn't look like it goes much further. So it's got. I don't really know what this means. More testing will probably be required. I mean, I did click on it. It could mean we can try moving a bit in a weird direction with it. But overall, I don't see a difference. And sometimes, like I said, these things have been bugged. So let's see what we can do this. I don't know much of a difference. Nox. Gibraltar. Now Gibraltar has the
revive allies to 50 HP. Okay, automatic
option to revive allies to 50 HP or
auto reload shotguns on Nox.
Auto reload shotguns
perk is so
on
dumb.
Nox. Pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. I'd probably go for the revive for 50 HP if you're bubble resing. If you're playing aggro Gibby and maybe have other supports with you, I guess auto reload shotguns on Nox would be pretty huge.
Dome of protection, size and cooldown reduced by 25%.
This is Baby Bubble and Bubble Bunker. Yeah,
wait,
that's the name of it. Interesting name. Dome of protection, size and cooldown reduced by 25%. Let's take a look. You get a Baby Bubble. Ready? Baby Bubble. Much smaller. Oh, it's so cute, so little. But you can do so much. Size does not matter, ladies and gentlemen. It's what you do with it that matters most. So how you manage your bubble. Now you could do the Dome of Protection lifetime increase by 4%, so it lasts a little longer. And does that look okay? No, it's the same. For a minute there, I was like, did the size change at all? Does it look the same to me? And I guess it looks the same. Let's go ahead and take a look without any of these changes or anything. I just want to take a look at the bubble. Let me throw it out. Yeah. It's just one of those things when you're inside of it. I remember at one point there was a patch a long while back that everyone freaked out.
What's the cooldown?
Thought the Gibraltar bubble was larger, but it really wasn't. So time increased by 4%. It's so cute, so little, but you can do so much. Size does not matter, ladies and gentlemen. It's what you those things when you're inside of it. I remember at one.
I don't know. This Gibby's kind of meh to me. Duck is 20 months. You don't. No one's gonna play Gibby when Maggie's broken. Like, Maggie is gonna absolutely just obliterate fucking Gibby. Imagine like 2 riot drills, fucking Maggie ball running at your fuse ult at your Gibby ult or Gibby bubble. Just kind of, yeah. Especially if you pick the smaller bubble. Imagine you pick the smaller bubble and you just get double Maggie queued. You're just gonna. I'm pretty sure you just get hit the entire time. Yeah, crypto EMP. If people playing crypto too, you just Gibby just not being played for sure.
One point there was a patch a long while back that everyone freaked out and thought the Gibraltar bubble was larger, but it really wasn't. So let's take a look at the Baby Bubble again. You get that feel. Self-explanatory. 10 self-explanatory. You're talking about
Lifeline?
Baby Bubble. Okay, let's go. Let's move on. Lifeline. Lifeline's up next. We're gonna just
increase revive speed by 20%.
discuss the increased revive speed by 20%. Self-explanatory. 10 second.
Sloth, thanks for 42 months.
The tactical.
Definitely res
I'm gonna
faster.
go for the increased revive speed. I'm gonna be honest. That's a banger.
Gain a self-revive. Okay.
A self-revive, that's a banger. Or
next Lifeline care package is a supply drop. God damn. Lamborghini, thanks for the getting. I think people are definitely gonna pick the supply drop thing because I feel like everyone's just gonna insta fucking thirst the lifeline every single time. Self revive is crazy fast, is it?
Next Lifeline care package is the supply drop. 3 Cravers, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I can't drop it here because last time I did, I crashed the server. So, I'm not going to drop it, but understand that it drops a supply drop instead of a care package. That's crazy. You have to choose, though. Let's say you already got a care package, you already got a Craver, then the self-revive. I mean, that's that one. These are insane. These are interchangeable. These are pretty crazy. That's tough. I guess if you don't die often, I mean, even then, that's tough. Lifeline getting a self-revive is crazy. Depends on the circumstance. Let's move on.
Dads from the future again. I just wanted to take a look at this self-revive. I want to show it for you guys. So what
Valkyrie
happens when you
Prime.
only use it once, and you have to hold the button down. You could choose not to hold the button down if you want somebody to res you. I tested this out. I'm just going to roll the footage. I want you guys to take a look, and I wanted you guys to have that information.
Allies are revived with health regen to 75 HP. This was pretty big for Mirage. Gain an ult decoy, reduce cooldown by 30 seconds. This is pretty big. Wow. Depends on what kind of Mirage you are. You can play aggro Mirage or defensive Mirage. If you're playing aggro, go for this. Playing defensive, go for this. Gain a decoy charge. Can have both active at once. That's pretty interesting. You got 2 decoys. Attack refresh successfully, or if somebody hits your bamboozle, then it refreshes. That's pretty huge too. Now, again, the same premise across the board. Just because you have them out doesn't mean you get to just constantly use them. You have to wait for the charge to hit. What we're going to do is might as well wait for this charge and discuss. I think if you're playing aggro, you want to go for these 2 on the right. If you're playing a little more defensive and you're not going to always bamboozle, then there you go. Now you have 2. And then you go ult, probably more defensive because you always want to have the 2. If you're playing more offensive, I guess you would go with the right tree. Not always the case for all of these, by the way. They're a little bit
useless, man.
Kind of mixed up here. The black market boutique range increased by 25%. Or you can get an extra item. I'm going to be honest, the item is probably what I would go with. 5-second reduction in tactical cooldown or increase the height and range. So let's showcase the height and range. I want to show you guys. So this is probably as far as you can go with, for the most part, like right here. I'm going to try to extend it right there.
Okay.
And that's the before. That's pretty good. Now let's showcase the after effects. Ready? Bump back and forth. Now, if you don't find yourself needing to throw it as far all the time, then you don't necessarily need the height difference, but it is going to make a difference of you getting somewhere. Now, keep in mind, this is the downside of it, that it is going to take longer before you can get out of your tactical. So sometimes this one might actually be better. Look at that. Look, that is very noticeable right off the rip, right?
That's pretty far.
So notice that it's going to take a lot longer. So if you have somebody blasting you, this isn't ideal. But if you're trying to throw yourself further to reposition and you have the time, then that's pretty good. That's not a bad option to have. So it depends on your playstyle and what you find most that you get caught out in. Because the worst thing that you need is to throw it, but you got to remember to kind of hit it down on the ground. And if the height is better and the range is better, you can't just necessarily just rely on it just flying out there. So
the character is still just bad, but it's gonna be the buff for people that have like play landslide or something.
some quick little tips there. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is now Newcastle.
Well,
Newcastle, you can choose on the left, which is mobile shield segment, gain 250 HP. That's insane. Or you can increase mobile shield speed to weapon speed sprint. So let's take a look at the speed. Ready? We can't really showcase health too much. I mean you can, but we don't have to. You understand it's 250. Now let's speed this up a little bit. Now it's important that you drop these down so they take effect. If you upgrade it midway through, it's not going to do crap for you. Now the next one, before we show, the allies are revived with HP up to 75. This one's huge. Or 250 more HP and extend the barrier duration to 2 minutes. That's insane. That's actually crazy. We're going to showcase that. All right, ready?
I was like, Newcastle got buffed crazy, but at the same time, Maggie and Fuse will just obliterate this fucking character too. So it doesn't even matter. Like, character is mega buffed, but you're going to get absolutely fucked. Absolutely fucked from Maggie and Fuse.
For the movement speed difference? Yeah.
You think Fuse seems bad? Well, in 17 months, what do you mean? You have double time on Fuse Q, and you can also, like... Nah, that character is fucking crazy. Fuse got... You can literally... You get bang speed on Fuse, and then you can also run... What was it? Like, run through your ultimate. which is like, I don't know, very situational. Like never happens, but I don't know. I think Fuse is pretty fucking like insane.
It's not too bad. It's faster, so just being mindful of your movement with it and whether you like it being faster. If it's too fast, what that means.
Maybe Newcastle will be good on Stormpoint to be played, because like Maggie and Fuse are like kind of just dog shit on that map.
Means are being slow and methodical. You know, you got to control it at the end of the day. So sometimes even having the slower one can be a benefit, and keep that in mind. Now 2 minutes for this is actually insane.
Thanks, Ass.
2 minute duration on this. This is great if you're walling something off. I mean, this is double the amount of time with Conduit ultimate. That's insane. 2 minutes. I'm gonna be honest. This is tough, man. I mean, if you're the designated reviver and your teammates go down all the time, this one, if you know that your teammates are going to be strong and that you don't have to worry about them too much, then go for Stronghold. Conduit up next, ladies and gentlemen. Conduit.
POs, thank you to 5 gifted, man.
Take a look. You can
shield battery count shown on death boxes. Oh, by the way, chat, I probably should have done this earlier. The video I'm watching right now, since you know we're using his video. Is this one?
When Google Fiber.
Cole, thanks for 24 months. If you guys want to watch it yourself, here you go.
Do shield battery count.
Shield battery count shown. Okay.
Count in death boxes. Remember, I said there's kind of a recurring theme there.
Each alt mine damage radius is increased. Jesus.
Each ult mine radius increased by 10%. Let's take a look at that.
Don't wait, they buffed this motherfucker,
Well, it looks
man.
like here in the center.
It
doesn't overlap quite exactly, right? But you can change that and have them overlap, which is kind of nice. Let's go ahead and put that away. There we go. Take a look. You see how the overlap is there now? Before, sometimes there's like a little small segment there.
By the way, I'm pretty sure the fucking Conduit ult is bugged in without the radius increase, because there'll be fucking gaps in between them that you would think you could run through, but you can't because the circles are not fucking like exact, so you still get hit by it.
A slight buff. Slight. I would almost kind of go for this. Maybe. I mean, batteries are always great, right? Next up, you have gain a tactical charge.
But half shield heal duration, okay? Grimoire needs 11 months.
But half shield duration, or
increased hack range by 15%. I feel like the range is kind of useless, but is it even a buff to do like 2 people with half? Or are you even like, what if you just decide not to pick one? Like, what if you just decide, hey, I'm gonna increase the radius of the ult, but I'm gonna choose to like keep my original Q. Like, it doesn't stop you from upgrading to purple or anything, right? If you don't pick a perk. Okay.
You can increase the tactical range by 15%.
What is Raven saying? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
This one's interesting, okay? Because technically, if you gain 2 charges and mid-fight, let's say somebody's already healed up, you can gain a second charge, and it takes a little bit of time to get them. But again, remember that it heals at half the duration, right? You're not going to get as big of a heal, but you can throw it twice at them. Just keep in mind, maybe they reposition and you don't want to waste that time, but also maybe you hit one teammate on the left, and then you're like, okay, they're done, they're safe, and oh no, my other teammate on the right needs it. Kind of creates a little bit more of a strategy behind it rather than just, you know, one and done. One and done can be good. And they hit the guy on the right. And then once that one is done, the duration is boom. See, it's a lot faster. Then you go again. Now, luckily for you, you get the full benefit of having both, but you just got to remember to press it. So there could be some interesting play here, or you just want to increase the range and just kind of be the range healer. Kind of up to you. Like if you're playing at a distance, let's say you're sniping or playing off angle, this will be great. Every little bit helps. Or if you're really in it and you have 2 aggro, let's say you have 2 entries, and they're both playing super aggro, then split charge is going to help you out. So kind of decide what's going to be better for you. Next up,
it's our boy.
we discuss Caustic. You can increase the tactical throw range by 75%. Let's take a look at that. Ready? That's it right there. And take a look at this difference. Ready? Whoop!
Jesus
Man,
Christ.
He going off for the NFL. That's crazy. He's actually insane. Now, the other interesting one is Nox Gas Grenades Cloud increase by 20%. That's pretty huge. The Nox Vision persists for longer,
Wait,
or you
what?
can regenerate HP.
Wait.
I'm gonna be honest. I know you can throw barrels pretty far. Okay, I can see that benefit, but I'm gonna be
Nox gas grenade gas cloud area increased by 20%. That's
very
gonna be
honest.
fucking
I would
insane.
go for this, and when you take a look at that distance there, I mean that gas is noticeable. You know
Hold on.
that benefit. But I'm gonna be very honest. I would go for this, and when you take a look at that, the
Nox vision persists for longer.
Nox Vision persists for longer, or you can regenerate HP while inside Nox. I'm gonna be honest. I know you can throw barrels pretty far. Okay, I can see that benefit. But I'm gonna be very honest. I would go for this, and when you take a look at that distance there, I mean that gas is noticeable. You know, even the ultimate is noticeable.
So wait, I don't understand. Why is he? Wait, does that second perk only adjust to the gas grenade, or also the what's it called? Only. It's just alt. Okay, I thought this. People are saying both.
Is quite the area, and if you're in it and you're just healing, it kind of synergizes a bit better because hey, you got more area in which you can heal your HP. Now you're probably asking the question, how does the HP kind of heal? It's very much like a Bangalore tactical. I'm going to do so you see the Nox gas before and after.
The barrel is definitely the same. The ultimate is bigger.
We're going to switch between them again. You can take a look at that. Let's see here. So I just want a reminder of what it looks like for all of you guys. I'm going to do a little damage to myself here. You can see that. It like I said, is very much like the Bangalore. So you hit it. You got to wait a minute when you take this damage, of course. Go ahead and get the healing here. See? It's at the same speed as the Bangalore one. It's not crazy. It is enough to make a bit of a difference, especially if somebody else is taking damage. But now the Nox gas, we take a look at the before. Remember you saw the before? Throw that there. It's got some distance there, right? Now let's increase that range. And let's swap between the two again.
Rebirth is 24 months.
Alright, we gotta wait for that gas to dissipate. We're gonna put it right on that blue again. Should reach a little further. Yeah, it does. Look at that. See, a little bit further. Nothing... I mean, honestly, this is quite the distance. It is noticeable. Again, I would go on the right. If you want to throw the barrels further and you're playing aggro, then I guess go for that. And this is more like the aggro side and maybe the defensive side. Best way to kind of look at it. Gas, distance, covering a building. I mean...
Wait, I don't think... Like, the person not that crazy for Caustic, though. Raven. Not that crazy. Well, I guess we'll have to see the other characters so far, but...
Honestly, this is increasing... It's like increasing damage overall. Ah, our girl Wattson. This is what I've been dreaming about right here. Revive...
20% on bigger ult is insane. Yeah, but was it... I don't know. I feel like if I just, like, think about scenarios, it's just, like... When am I in the position to be like, wow, if I had a bigger Caustic ult, I would have fucking killed him. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't... Like, what scenario are we even, like... I don't know. And, like... End zone? Bro, end zone, you just kill them no matter how big the fucking thing is, first of all. Like, end zone, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Like, that's just, like... Original Caustic ult did the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of just overkill at this point in endgame. But I don't know, I feel like buildings, it's like, I don't know.
5 allies to 50 HP. Or
Alt interception spawn arc stars. That's pretty good.
your ultimate interceptions spawn arc stars. If you find that you're holding a building and everyone keeps throwing grenades at you, interceptions will spawn arc stars. I tried it in the range. It doesn't work. Now, it could be because it needs to be an enemy. It has to be an enemy interception, and you'll see an arc star. So this one has to be tested in game. You can.
I wonder how many characters are going to be bugged with their perks that don't work, and then like the people in comp will be able to play the certain characters because they'll be bugged the entire time. Like, let's say Wattson is going to be OP, but you can't play her because she's bugged. You know.
You can double the ult HP and capacity, or you can spawn 2 of them. But they also have a reduction in half healing capacity. Now your ult excels go a little bit faster though. You can take a look here. It's already noticeable. I don't really have to show the before on this. It's way faster already. So if you're looking to get back in the heat of the moment, pretty huge. And you can have 2 of them. Put them in 2 different spots, especially when people keep blowing them out or whatever. Definitely good. Or you can use the other one. You put them in a great spot. You double the HP and the capacity. So it depends on where you put them, how many ult accelerants you have. Remember, once you pick
2 Maggie drills.
these skill trees, you can't undo them. So the only way to undo them is by swapping. I realize I haven't said that, so now you know. And knowledge is power. I'll probably put that over text earlier in the video. Now next up, Rampart is not as interesting as I thought it was going to be. You can reduce Sheila cooldown by 20%.
Bro, this meta is going to be so fucking AIDS. Bro, people are just... we are... Raven, we are literally gonna play... we're gonna play like Caustic Maggie Fuse on World's Edge, bro. Imagine Caustic Maggie Fuse.
Or you can carry extra ammo per stack. I'm gonna go with the Sheila. You can improve mobile Sheila handling and spin up time by 20%. Or you can reload faster with Sheila when behind amp cover. I'm gonna go with this one.
Well, you don't know if we can play... We're gonna play Valk Noka because the thing is that... well, I guess for Siphon, it's like... It depends on when... So the thing is, like, certain perks are, like, kind of useless because they're, like, early base perks. So, like, being able to Valkyrie... Like, obviously that Valkyrie thing is not only early game, but... yeah, we get evac, so it's no point. Plus, it's like, when am I able to actually get blue armor? Like, how does... Am I going to get blue armor, like, when I rotate? Like, I don't understand exactly how to get blue armor yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you have to do, like, how long it takes. So it's like, if I want to early rotate with Valkyrie, when am I going to get blue armor to do that? To, like, actually unlock that, to go, like, further, you know? So it's the same thing with Pathfinder Vantage. Like, what is the point of me having to hit beacon on either character if I don't have blue armor to pick up off the ground? I'll be hitting the beacon later in the game, and it's just useless, right? So it kind of just depends. Like, I don't know the timing of how you get the blue armor. Like, how is it easy? Like, now I know you get experience and shit from like hitting beacons and hitting shots and stuff like that, but like, I don't know the numbers and stuff like that, you know. Why don't you play Wattson? Getting arc stars while teams throw bang ults and horizon ults sound OP. Because Maggie is going to be fucking insane, in my opinion. Maggie counters Wattson. That's why. Bang perks are fucking terrible. Bang got nerfed up the ass. Like, her perks are fucking ass. Her perks are ass. You can't use digis unless they're on, like, Wingman or something. Horizonal is just fucking GG's. Horizon is just GG. I feel like no one's going to play Horizon anymore. Each drill won't break Wattson gen. Standards to 25 months. Why? Because of the HB increase, or just because that's just how the drill like doesn't actually fully break it? You don't have to do it twice. Joey to 6 months. Mango's 10 months.
That one, like I said, is
Wait, what is Rampart?
I'm gonna go with the
Sheila
Sheila.
cooldown by 20%.
You can improve mobile Sheila handling and spin up time by 20%. Or you can reload faster with Sheila when behind amp cover. I'm gonna go with this one. That one, like I said, is I guess you could say a little bit more straightforward.
Boy, 3 months.
Yeah, wow. I would go on the left pretty much. I wouldn't really think much about this one. That's why I say she's not as interesting, but go with these two. I think are buff revert.
Whatever.
When you think about this, is reverted. You can
Max number of active spikes by 1. Okay.
increase the number of active spikes by 1. You can put 1, you know, and it's essentially reverting back what she was before. Okay, you can increase a spike range throw.
That's useless.
By 40%. Essentially, all I see is that this is a revert back by choosing one or the other. By having your old tactical back. If you were just really upset that you don't have it, well, you know, a little golf clap, you now have it back, so don't stress. You
Dark Veil lifetime by 20%.
Can increase the Dark Veil time by 20%.
King is 25
months.
months.
It lasts a lot longer. So again, notice how it's just kind of reverting a bit of the nerfs that occurred. Or you can increase the length AO by 27%. You know, length is never a bad thing. All right, so what we're going to do, let's go and back up. We're going to use this as the example. So be right here. See it? So that's the distance right there, right? Pretty far. I mean, that's a great wall. Now let's take a look at the wall again, but we're going to add length to it. Not the size, ladies and gentlemen, is what you do with it. So make sure you know what you're doing with your wall. Ready? Oh, there it goes. Yep. Not bad. Not bad. The distance is important. Now, in zone, this definitely does less.
I definitely think the length is way better. Well, yeah, length is definitely way better overall, right? I feel like the length is like more applicable compared to than like how the duration. Raven said duration. What? Raven, do we ever agree, man? Are we supposed to be on the same team? Duration is better. When do you need a 30-second fucking wall, though? When do you ever... You only need a longer wall, or... Yeah, a longer standing wall if it's, like, late game. When you're crossing... Or, like, yeah, trying to cross something in early to mid game, wouldn't, like, a bigger wall? You got Bang? We're playing Bang still? Are you fucking serious? I thought Bang sucks. I thought Maggie, like, Fuse would be better. Oh my god. I don't want to play Bang. Can we just kill Bang? Just fucking get rid of her. We'll talk later. So, bro, this is so cringe.
It's for you, but if you happen to have yourself early rotate, then...
But that wall is insane. Holy shit. How far is... That's gotta be like...
This is beneficial. If you're in end zones, having the lifetime increased by 20% is better. If you find that you're fighting and you need a longer cross, then you have to kind of decide. Remember, again, you can't switch through this mid-game, unfortunately. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a longer video. This is everything when it comes to all of the skill trees. I did my...
Yeah, I don't know. See, this is why I just play the game. Raven takes care of the rest.
This video is made possible by the EA Creator Network. Season 20 comes with a ton of changes. I have posted videos so far on the following subjects. Is the new LTM straight shot. What I'm going to do is overlay also the footage that you see on screen. Now, what's interesting on the screen, I don't think a lot of people have probably shown it, but on the right,
no one cares about the LTM.
It's coming as
120
well.
FPS, no one cares.
In the background, I have the R301 has been buffed. The footage overlaid is going to showcase some of the example, and I'll let it roll for just a little bit. The evade is going into the crafter and has hammer.
What does that go from? I don't know what the fuck. What's the fucking numbers? 21 and what? 13? 21 headshot? What is it before? It's like a +2 damage. It's the same. What? Then why does it say it's buffed? I'm confused.
The evade is going into the crafter and has hammer points. I'm also going to let that footage roll just so you see what it looks like in the test range as well.
Jesus Christ, that's gonna go crazy. That's really bad from range.
The 30-30 also got a slight nerf, max 10 bullets on the highest magazine, but also doesn't have that dual reload anymore. I'm also going to showcase that footage here.
Not that crazy of a nerf, so it will definitely still be used.
Now, we didn't get exact values, but I was told the Hemlock got a slight adjustment when I was utilizing it. I noticed it did feel different, and I don't know which values changed per se, since I did not have the exact notes on hand, but I'm going to overlay the footage that I got in the test range, and if I'm crazy, somebody's going to call me out on it.
That looks like Hemlock is still good to me.
Now, crafters have been changed. They will only allow the crafting of one item, one medkit, one battery, or ammo, or a banner reset. This means in ranked, healing outside of zones has essentially been nerfed, so this is a really positive change for those in ranked that were upset about that. There are no guns in the crafter. I repeat, there are no guns. You can't craft any weapons. There are no attachments in the crafter either. There are no materials to gather at the start of the round. Because of this, items pop out actually relatively quickly. So now
this is just like, doesn't this just create like a even bigger POI gap? Like if you have like a even worse POI, like it's even worse, because now you can't even craft as much. Like you just fuck, like you're about to just get absolutely fucked landing at like fucking landslide, like even or whatever you're doing, or like wherever, like any other fucking bad POI. It just nerfs edge. Well, the thing is that, well, we don't know what the loot table looks like really, because they got rid of armors on the ground, right? Or am I wrong on that? Is armors even on the ground, or are they they're not on the ground? Yeah. So it's like, who knows what the loot table looks like? You know, getting rid of armors probably put in more, like, you know, they had to have balanced it, right? Like, there's no way they it's not like reevaluate, like, you know, they can't get rid of fucking, you know, the crafting, but then not put more batteries or whatever it might be on the ground, right? So, I don't know. We'll have to see,
now
I
what
guess.
we're going to do is cover all of the rank changes coming in Apex Legends Season 20. The rank changes include really going back to form, and I would say this mirrors more of a Season 13 type of vibe. MMR has been removed. You will match against those who are within...
It's also, I don't think Edge is dead too, because depending on your POI, like, you're going to... Like, let's say you do PvE, like, on Stormpoint, and you have, like, Launchpad or whatever. Like, your armors are going to be fucking insane compared to everybody else in the lobby because of PvE. Like, PvE is going to be really good, no? For, like, this type of shit. Really, really good. Does this technically kill... Wait, chat, does this technically, like, kill Harvester and Mill? Because if armors don't spawn on the ground, right? If they don't spawn on the ground... So that means they can't just, like, have God loot. They can't just have God loot and insta-rotate, right? Yeah, I know Mill has, what's it called? Prowlers, but that's only for one person, usually, right? So that's like a hard nerf, no? I feel like that's like a hard nerf for POIs like Harvester and Mill. To have those, like, terrible right? They'll probably leave it blues. I guess you're right. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, but that's only one per... Wait, yeah, no, when you hit the beacon, right, that's for the whole team, the XP. Is any XP, I guess, what is uniform with the team in terms of XP? It's like hitting beacons and stuff like that, right? It's not... PvE is not uniform with the team, or is it? PvE is all team evo? Damage is just for you, everything else is team? Okay.
We're generally around your rank. Gold against gold.
Interesting. Princess, thank you for the tier 2, 47 months.
No more MMR match.
Oh, wait, hold on.
No more.
Let's listen to this.
Is bronze, and no more MMR matchmaking. I repeat, no more
President, next 33 months.
MMR matchmaking. Putting silvers against masters was kind of ridiculous, and I'm really glad that they made this change. Now, in Apex Legends Season 20 as well, ranked splits are returning, meaning you're going to have 2 splits per season. So when we're in Season 20, you'll have the first rank split, then it's going to reset everybody. Then we're going to go again, just like we did, back to old form. Now, the armor changes are going to be really impactful for the way ranked flows. So that's why I really highlight that it's important that you watch the other video where we cover all of the armor changes, because it goes into great detail how to level it, how it works, how these armor cores work as well. I really believe this is going to help in a positive way with the flow of ranked. But lastly, RP points return. I don't have a screenshot, but there is a more detailed page of how you gain points and why. I think one of the most frustrating things when ranking was understanding why you gain points, how you gain points, and really how do you rank up and what do you do. And so I think that this is going to be a step in the right direction, giving you a more detailed guide. I think it could be a little step further, but of course we don't want people exploiting it either, knowing how to rank up easily. Well, everybody, that's all the changes coming to Apex Legends Season 20. I know it's quite a bit considering all...
You can change perks mid-game? No? I don't think so. If you pick one, it's like, you can't change it, right? Kina, it's at 18 months. You definitely can't change it.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and...
This video is made possible by the EA Creator Network. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is a full comprehensive guide on how armors work in Apex Legends, crazy to say, Season 20. Now, already right off the rip, their name is kind of...
Therapy since 15 months.
Already changed. It's called a Shield Core. This is very, very important to highlight, and I really want this to sink in, that they're called Shield Cores, and there's a very important reason. Now, overcharge will decay, so we'll cover what that means as well. We're going to break everything down.
Goober is 24.
And most important thing right off the rip. Armors are not on the floor anymore. There are no armors on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, let's repeat that again. There's no armors on the floor. Now, I know that's probably a really hard thing to understand of what that means. And even if you were to pick up an armor from a death box...
Is that hard for you guys to understand, chat? It probably is, isn't it? Joe, it's a 10 months.
This is a death box right here. I'm going to showcase it to you so you understand that armors on the ground don't work the way they used to. Let's say we picked up a purple. Look how my armor has been augmented. This is in line with how the tree progression works. Think of your tree progression as your armor, and your armor is your tree progression. So the more damage you do, and the more things you do in the world, the more you're going to level up your armor. But you can, indeed, pick up an armor and overcharge it for a temporary amount of time. You see how that armor is about to dissipate? Let's take a look here once it goes away. It's fascinating because it means you're not meant to be at this level quite yet. But you can level this up by doing damage. Let's cover those things of what you can do and list them on screen. As this is depleting, you see it's depleting and going away. You can do damage, and that's why I have the EVE 8 to do significant damage. You'll see the damage, ready? Boom. So if you want to level up by doing damage, this is a great way to do it. Now the other one is by scanning beacons or hitting consoles. So if you're a recon class or if you're a controller class, you can also do it by reviving your teammates. You can also do
Plus
it by
200.
squad wipes. You can hit them by with supply bins, the support bins. You can do by much more. The one of the most important ones that also gain you a lot of points.
Kane, it's 3 months.
Harvester areas that get you like 400 points. Now if you find them as well, I found this really hard to find. Keep in mind we were in a...
Okay, it needs 150, so... Okay, so console beacon, if anyone gets a beacon... Wait, I'm trying to think. Can you craft your armor, chat? No? Wait. So, if you're telling me... You're basically telling me if you don't get a beacon, a console or a beacon, you're practically... Like, it also depends on where the harvester thing is, but... If you don't have a console or a beacon, you are fucked off spawn. Completely. Because you're going to be literally just triple white armor. 600 XP? Wait, 600 to level up? Wait, what? It says 150. I'm confused. What? Is XP and Evo two different things?
A test build are the Evo caches. The Evo caches give you points. Boom, and level you up.
Oh, wait, so you need 600 to get the blue. Wait. You need 600 XP to get the blue? So yeah, wait, what do you do if you don't even have a console? Where the fuck are these Evos? If everyone's just gonna be playing fucking white armor? Everyone's just gonna be playing white. Off spawn. What the fuck? Wait, well it depends on where the Evo Harvester and XP stuff is, right? And like... I know you need to fight to get blue. Well yeah, I know, that's Evo Harvest, that's the thing. That's what I was saying, Raven, since it takes 600 XP to get to blue, and hitting a beacon is only 200. You essentially, to get to blue off spawn, you need to get a beacon, and you need to get like the Evo Harvester thing. Because Evo Harvester is 400, I think, right? And I was also saying earlier, one beacon and one station in your triple blue is actually quite easy. Yeah, but I was also saying earlier, Raven, it's like... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Never mind. I was thinking about like POIs with guaranteed loot. Like, you know how high tier loot, like Mill and Harvester, because how Dark Zero or like Sky West. So like, if there's no armors on the ground and stuff like that, like doesn't that just nerf those types of POIs in a way? Because they just they don't have armors on the ground. It's obviously like it just depends. I guess the evil harvesters and shit. Like, is that gonna compensate? Because technically, you can't just have like guaranteed high tier loot anymore and just go to zone, you know? Like as broken as it used to be. But they do have Prowler Sky West, which is actually going to be OP as fuck. Tech, you better leave the Prowler's launchpad, bro, or we're coming for your ass. We're coming. Yeah, there's no more gold armors. Wait, how do you get the gold armor? How does gold armor work? Am I stupid? You don't? Okay. Wait, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's kind of crazy though.
Like 400 points. Now, if you find them as well, I found this really hard to find. Keep in mind we were in a test.
A perk bit pin. I don't even know what that is. What does that even mean? Perk pin. Harvester 400. Create reveal. Oh, that is there. Oh, assault bin. Okay.
Build are
huge in since 18 months. Revives. Yeah, people are gonna. Can't you just literally wait? Isn't this gonna be another problem? This revive shit. Can't you just farm the red by just literally downing yourself 20 times? You're gonna ruin your bleed out timer? Well, fuck it. Ruin your bleed out timer, get res, timer is reset, right? You got red armor, and you know? If you have red armor and the team has blues and you get knocked, you're probably bad anyways.
The Evo caches. The Evo caches give you points.
You need to be knocked by an enemy.
Boom, and level you up. Now, on the bottom left, I want you to highlight this here. Notice how your armor is leveling up whenever you do, which is really cool. I think that's really exciting that happens. Now, let's give an example. Now, on the next thing that's really important to highlight, I'm going to throw a grenade at myself here, and I'm going to swap to a white armor. Let's say I find a white armor on a box, okay? I get cracked, I take some flesh, and we're going to swap over to a white. Let's say somebody has your white armor, right? Well, now you still have blue, so technically, I got rid of my other core. Remember, it's not armors. We gotta get. This is going to be really hard for me even to get rid of this mindset and trade it out, where they're cores. The cores are depleted, so therefore the core that you have is replaced, but your overall capacity of what you have, based on the experience that you have, has changed. So let's go ahead and upgrade to the skill tree. If you want to know all the skill trees, I have.
So it's basically like, hey, my character's level 2, but I can wear level 1 if I wanted to. But if I'm level 3, like my character's level 3, but I can also wear a level 2. It's not really confusing. It's just like basically you don't lose. So if you get your character XP to red, right, and you swap to a white armor, you don't lose the red armor anymore. You know how like before, if you had red armor, you swap to a white. The only way you get back to red is if you pick it back up. Now you can still keep the red. You still get to keep the red. You just gain the white armor health. You just have to heal the rest. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of just like a little shortcut, I guess they changed. It's not really. It's kind of like a little quality of life change. It's a good change. I don't. There's nothing wrong with that in my opinion. I think that's a good change. That's a really good change. If you loot 2 whites, are you full red? No, because red is 5, right? Purple is 4. If you loot 2 whites, that's just purple. Wait, yeah, it doesn't build, right? No, you can't even do that, can you? Yeah, it doesn't stack. Okay, I was gonna say. There's no way, yeah. You can't stack it anyways. Never mind. Gongang to 9 months. Daddy Bears to 23 months.
Separate full guide on it, okay? For every single legend. So right now, the best way to do it is by doing damage. So I'm going to highlight just by doing damage. The gold ones give you a lot of points. Okay, let's go ahead and hit that one. So you saw one of them that got points. 1,900. It's a crazy amount of points. So
where the gold ones at, boy? Give me them gold.
Upgraded.
Flames for the 2 months.
Up. Another one. Let's showcase again when we get a red what that looks like.
right? Let's say again, the same scenario. I really want to hammer this point home and how these armors work. Because there's an overshield. See how it overshield and overhealed, right? That disappears once you take damage. So I wanted to highlight that there.
Bruh. The arcs are just creating an ad.
Now let's say you pick up a blue armor, right? It's hard to switch. Pick up a blue core. You can still heal it up. You never lose. You never lose. This is a brilliant system. If you are a solo queue player, if you want to keep the momentum going from fight to fight, this is a brilliant solution. I think this is an elegant solution. The armor's on the ground, it clears up the loot table. If you drop hot,
my ADHD is gonna just go crazy with this, bro. You don't understand. To be able to just like not have to go back and pick it up and just heal. Oh my god.
If somebody were to get, you know, a golden cache, which I barely saw any of these, and let's say they were to hit a beacon and then they did some damage, the best that they could get is blue. Okay, the best that they could get is blue. I repeat that. That's the best that they got. And now it evens the playing field because you wouldn't have to drop off against somebody who's got purple.
Wait, what?
Versus you on white. So it kind of balances out at the start. Now this means that other legends are a lot stronger at the start if nobody does damage. But don't worry, you don't have to do damage. As a reminder, you can do world things. You can hit the you are a silver. Now let's say you pick up a blue armor, right? It's hard to switch. Pick up a blue core. You can still heal it up. You never lose. You never lose. This is a brilliant system. If you are a solo queue player, if you want to keep the momentum going from fight to fight, this is a brilliant solution. I think this is an elegant solution. The armor's on the ground, it clears up the loot table. If you drop hot, even if somebody were to get, you know, a golden cache, which I barely saw any of these, and let's say they were to hit a beacon and then they did some damage, the best that they could get is blue. Okay, the best that they could get is blue. I repeat that. That's the best that they got. And now it evens the playing field because you wouldn't have to drop off against somebody who's got purple versus you on white. So it kind of balances out at the start. Now this means that other...
So wait. But he's basically saying that it's literally impossible to get a purple armor off spawn unless you do like extra shit. Like there's always going to be just a blue or white off spawn. Wishing for 2 months. I also just realized if you think about contests, every contest is just going to be less RNG because everyone's just going to be on white. There's going to be no armors, right? Which is nice. There's not going to be like random armors that's going to have like crazy RNG. Yeah, we'll see you, Tech.
Their legends are a lot stronger at the start if nobody does damage. But don't worry, you don't have to do damage. As a reminder, you can do world things. You can hit the harvesters. They're really easy. I'm going to overlay it here on the screen.
Is Daz, are you still here? Josh, it's 16 months.
And you when you get squad wipes, whenever you res your teammates, when you do things that are team oriented, you don't even have to do any damage. You can get out of an area with purple armor, and it happens pretty quick. And the leveling up is pretty efficient. So I want to make sure you understand that. So armor swaps, remember their cores. You're just replacing the core. You can drop down a core, but remember if you don't have a core equipped, look, you can't heal. So don't drop your core. That's very, very important. If you drop your core, I mean, you're kind of screwed, you know? Like, just don't drop your core. It's kind of important. You can drop your core for others, right? But remember what that means and what that does, and that it'll deplete over time. So if you're going to drop your core for somebody, sure, you can drop your armor for somebody still. But just remember, you need to go find yourself a core. Otherwise, you can't do anything. There's nothing here. Now, this could be a test range thing. You know, keep in mind, we have a little bit of time to play, but that's my understanding of it. If that changes, somebody comment down below, and I'll be sure to do an updated video, and I'll do an updated guide. Now, remember, let's do a quick recap. Once you're at this level, and of course you have a core, you are permanently at that level. Always, all right? Your progression is tied to your progression on your skill tree, all right? So it's important that you do damage. You don't have to do damage, though. There's many different ways that you can do damage to find success with this. What we're going to do is I'm going to showcase an example in game. I'm going to overlay it. I'm going to talk through just a drop and what that looks like so you can see how it works in a real world environment. And also you can see that the loot pool is also very much cleaned up. This also goes to the new mode where it's straight shot. I like how it's more simplistic, but it's elegant, removing some of the random number generation of BS that you kind of run to right off drop, and I just think it's fantastic. So let's cut to that now. What we're going to do is I'm going to commentate over a drop, and you're going to see how it levels up and how it feels. One with a hot drop doing damage, one by just passively running around doing nothing. So let's break that down.
Now, in this example, I was utilizing an R301, but I want to highlight for all of you guys what it looks like when you fight off rip, as well as how fast your armors do level. I know the number of 600 Evo can be a little daunting and overwhelming, but your damage does ramp up, as well as when you get knocks, and you get the squad wipe at the end. You see there's 100. Look, I'm already at 350 Evo, just because the points and how they flow. This was a pretty well thought out system, because it really felt, I guess you could say, intuitive. It didn't feel overwhelming. It didn't feel overtuned or underbalanced. It was very carefully thought out, and I appreciated that. So once this wipe does happen, you're going to see once you play aggro, even though I didn't do any damage to the last person, how close I am. In the armor core, as an example, I'm only 92 points off. Now, this was great because I'm already almost at blue right off the rip after a squad wipe, and how fast it was. There's other things that I can do to garner these points, and what we're going to do is skip ahead to that. Now, it's not always just about doing damage, even as you're on rotation and gathering resources. What you're going to see here is that those Evo harvests...
Lexing's to Prime. Ballistic to Tier 1. Maiden's to Tier 3. Evado's to 9 months. Almanix to 5 months. It's 600 XP for blue, guys. 600 XP for blue.
Are pretty huge. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to see it in just a second here pop up. My teammate grabbed one. I showcased this example in another video.
Who's grabbing it?
I really wanted to highlight
Daz, why aren't you showing the fucking map, man? So we know where this shit is.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to see it in just a second here pop up. My teammate grabbed one. I showcased this example.
You literally just don't know where they're at.
Really
Ed, thanks to Tier 1. Pesco to 20.
Wanted to highlight it here of how quickly you
shows a map later on
and level up, and we'll showcase now. I'm going to segue to a little bit more damage at range with the R301 and see those points kind of skyrocket. I'm looting. You can see team wide, and then it was going to take a little.
I need the map.
But if you get an assist, it counts from the Evo. Kind of see it in real time.
I don't care about that.
Later on, and how that's very safe. How can you garner points? Let's highlight that. Now, it's really important that you have your team.
Durgan's Tier 1, Lord is at 18. They look like beehives.
Teammates fill out the role. A little bit extra points.
So
boom, it happens relatively quick, and it's really smooth. We might as well... What we're going to do is I'll overlay the rest of this footage later on in another video.
Go back.
Now let's segue to what happens.
Doubting is Prime.
It doesn't this damage and what it
back here.
Like after. Just wanted to highlight that for all of you guys. Of how quick it is. I didn't realize how quick it was again, and so I was kind of moving around thinking it was going to take a little longer. It doesn't. It's pretty much instantaneous.
Oh my god.
Let's take a little longer. It doesn't. It's pretty much instantaneous.
Holy fuck, this is testing my reaction time.
It doesn't. It's pretty much instantaneous.
Boom. Shit on. Okay, so the yellow ones, these yellow ones right here, they're the evil harvester shits. Why is that motherfucker in the water? Sage is to 5 months. Where is that one in the water? Psycho David's to Tier 1. There's 4 at Elrod. There's a respawn beacon, you idiot. Relax. Isn't that a respawn beacon? Or is there a respawn beacon over there? Can's just a Prime. Oh my god, Tacky, fucking bozo. Yeah, let's see. There is one. There's only one on Launchpad, but you guys have like 5 PvE shits. And he's a Prime. So what? We have what? 2? It looks like at landing ground. I wonder, Daz. Do you know if they yeah, they're random? Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Scunt, thanks for 3 months. They're not static. It's random. What do you mean, as in, when you say random, as in random spots, or random in terms of a number? So, like, is there a chance that I can have, like, 3 at Lightning Rod? Or just gonna be always only 2 at Lightning Rod, just in different spots? Random spots? Whiting's to 46 months. The RNG spots like the crafting goo? Okay, so there is going to be 2 basically lightning rod. Yeah, boy. Okay, no, North Pad is gonna be fucking busted. I'm telling you this right now. Prowler, wait, no, not prowlers. You got the fucking birds You have Prowlers. Prowlers, Birds, and the 2 canisters. North Path's gonna be fucking busted. Mill only looks like has 1. But that's like so out of the way. How are you gonna... Mill, how are you gonna... You can't even like how are you gonna rotate early? I guess you have a car. Minus says the spawn, not that start, but later RNG spots like crafting. So many attempts, but they're meant to be picked up at rotations. They're also good cover. Okay. If you pick them up, Daz, do they go away? Like in terms of cover? Like are they still physically in the game even though you pick them up? They stay. Okay. They're available for all teams to grab. So wait. So someone else can grab the lightning rod ones after I pick them up. Yes. Jeremiah, it's tier 1. Yeah, they're like crafting mats, but instead of crafting your armor, you just pick up these things around the map. I think they're 1900 nags, yeah. I guess your macro would literally be dependent on where the fuck these things spawn, sometimes. Like, it would literally be dependent on where they spawn.
Yes. Let's take a look at the fight here. Now, just to kind of highlight this damage and what it looks like, the R301 is really strong at the moment. All that damage already counts towards it, which is really nice. Now, you'll notice that the damage on Nox doesn't, but if you get an assist, it counts for 75 as well. So I just want to point that out because you're probably thinking, well, I can just farm the Evo damage on Nox. It doesn't actually work like that, which I think is pretty important to highlight.
So you can see where they spawn? Yeah, on the map. It's like the yellow, like it's not. It's I think it's like yellow dots instead of green or whatever. They're on the map. I wonder if that's gonna be like data mined. If you can data mine like the possible locations of the fucking harvesters.
Because I don't think I mentioned that earlier. But I think it's better just to kind of see it in real time. And then boom, right here, squad wipe happens and you get a little bit extra points. So boom, it happens relatively quick and it's really smooth. We might as well, what we're going to do is I'll overlay the rest of this footage later on in another video. Now let's segue to what happens if you have a really slow drop and how that momentum can be gained. So we're going to highlight as an example of a slow drop. So let's say you don't land with anybody nearby, it's very safe. How can you garner points? Let's highlight that. Now, it's really important that you have your teammates fill out the role, whether it's hitting a beacon, whether it's hitting a console, whether it's hitting a perk bin, because all these points do add up. Once I hit this, you'll notice it'll go up 200. My teammates miss a supply bin here, which means that we're not going to gain those points. This is not even a full lobby. I want to point that out. This was very much a test run of how a lobby kind of plays out, and us kind of really getting to explore the changes themselves. But you'll notice now we only need 400 more Evo. Now what I can do now is also hit the console. And I can do this because Vantage actually has this perk, and as well as Wattson. So Wattson hit it, and so there we go. So now we're only 200 points away, which can level up pretty quick. And when you're in a fight, remember, if you don't take damage, then that does heal up for the next part. So we're going to do a showcase what happens when we get into an encounter now, and how fast that leveling process did work. Now what you're going to notice here, I was told to be very nice because the players that I'm playing against are not very good. And so you'll notice that I'm trying to be kind, if you will. But I want to showcase how these level up and how it feels. Now, let's not to explore. So you'll notice it'll go up.
So there's Olympus map changes. Where, what are we looking at? Where am I looking at? Olympus map changes. I don't see any. Am I blind? Icarus? Looks the same.
200. My teammates miss a supply bin here, which means that we're not going to gain those points. What happens when we get into an encounter now, and how fast that leveling process did work. As you rotate, and I try to be nice. I stopped. Oh gosh. So the team is still here. I let them res. We already have the current map knowledge. This is where you'll notice that I'm being a little overly nice. I mean, I do a little bit of damage, but I just kind of want to highlight. I think it's a little funny. It's endearing, I guess you could say. Okay, stop. I purposely stopped.
Is there no like gun changes? Like what the how they didn't touch the guns at all? Except they what nerfed the 30-30 a little bit. They nerfed Hemlock by like 1 damage. I guess yeah, there's the digi thing that they changed too. I guess there wasn't really much they changed. Oh, yeah, but there was nothing was said about the vault nerf though. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. 3030 nerf is like they reduced the mag size of like the maximum mag to 10 or something. They also changed that you can't double reload. You can't reload 2 bullets at once anymore. It's only 1 bullet at once. I think that's it. It's literally just like the mag size stuff. Fuck off, tech. That would be broken. The team gets the beacon points. The team gets the beacon points. My only worry, I feel like, with this season is like people being completely lost of like what the fuck is going on. Like, this is like a completely different kind of game, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be so lost unless they go out of their way to like learn it. Like, what do they have to do now, you know? Like, I can just imagine like solo queuing and a teammate is just going to be perma white armor the entire game because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know? You don't think so? Impossible. Yeah, but you level up by playing the game, but at the same time, it's like some of these things that people do, they don't even like do it in the first place. They don't hit beacons. They don't hit the map room. They don't hit the beacon. They don't even know. They're probably not even gonna know what the evil harvester is. They're probably not even gonna see it ever. You know what I'm saying? No one kills the spiders. No one shoots prowlers. Like I don't think the casuals do any of that. I don't know. It's just more so like I'm afraid that the casuals don't have information, like easily access information for the casuals to learn what everything is, unless they go like on YouTube and stuff like that, right? Like there's no like I don't think there's like a tutorial for them to understand what is this, what is that, etc. You know, which is my only like kind of issue. Beezy's is 24 months, but they're gonna put a new tutorial, are they? Okay, they should hopefully. Yeah, true, kind. The support kits are going to be in the comp now. Maybe like some people are definitely going to play Newcastle or like Conduit. I don't know really. I don't know about Lifeline. I don't know how I feel about like I don't know how the Lifeline package works because apparently it would crash the server when they were trying to test it. But I don't know. I think it's going to be fun though for sure. I think the new comp will be fun for sure. It's new. Honestly, I don't really care like what. As long as I get to play a new game after 5 years. That's all I really care about, honestly. Like,